Hello, one. Hello, hello. It's morning coffee time. You wake up, you draw, you sketch. And you look for what makes you feel good. It's time to iterate the ancient ritual. Prepare the props and the sacred relics. Let the drawing flow. No worries, no worries. Hi, Hatectic. Hi, Jason. Hi, Gabby. I hope your morning drawing goes well. May your morning coffee be exactly how you like it. How do you sketch pen in pen drawing? Practice much. Let nothing stop you. Be brave. Where's your inner steel, my friend? No tip will save you. No little piece of advice will make it easier. You must do it. You must make the sketch pen your friend. You have to spend so much time with it that it can't surprise you anymore. You know every shape it'll put down. You know how it will react to every bit of pressure. Have you ever considered creating your own art book or art-related literature? I honestly feel like I have so much to say about art that it could never fit in a book. That's why I made the YouTube channel. The things that I say on the YouTube channel are essentially what I would put in an art book. No reference for these, Tobias. Just messing around. All from the old mental library. Remix after remix after remix. Thank you, Intoxikid. Thank you for the kind words. Are you listening to the music as well, or is it just for the stream? It's just for the stream. I listen to it sometimes. Right now, I'm not. if the music wasn't there, you would hear more of the beautiful ambient noise of urban New York City than I'm comfortable with. Souped up motorcycles, 18-wheelers right outside my window. Children having the time of their lives in the playground down the street. So I am never in complete silence. Silence is a distant dream. A myth that I have heard about. You like the blue and red one? Me too. I like mixing the markers. I used to do a lot of highlightery stuff like this years and years ago when I was working in studio in Los Angeles. We had a weekly life drawing at work, after work. And for a long time, I always went. I went basically every time it was offered. But for a very long time, a long phase, I just did... I didn't even do inks, really. I would do like pencil with these kinds of like highlighter-ish 80s colors, markers over it. I did a lot of work like this. Honestly think it'll be cool to listen to the ambience white noise just to get a feel of the current headspace you're in. I promise you, it would not be cool. About every 10 minutes, a souped up Mustang rolls by my window with just a ridiculously loud thunderclap. And honestly, it would stress me out to know that I'm sending that unmitigated to the viewership, so it would just distract me. In fact, it would be so annoying to me that I would just never stream. I don't think it's cute anymore. It's not a fun novelty for me. It's pure frustration for me now. Damien says, if I want to draw characters from imagination, should I first copy other people's characters to build my reference library? Well, first is a dangerous word there. You should do that, but you should also always be drawing your own characters. For most people, some sort of daily pipeline between study and application is most efficacious. So maybe you spend half your day copying, and then the second half of the day, you apply what you learned to freely drawing from your imagination. For most people, that kind of split works best. And the reason most people can't stick to it is because they're so disappointed and obsessive about the quality of their work or the failures in their work that they retreat to studying so that they never have to look at what drawings look like when they do them themselves. And that's just gonna hold you back. You just need to accept that that's part of the journey. I actually advise doing it in reverse of that for most people. I actually think most people should be creative and free the first half of the day and then study the second half of the day. And by the day, I don't mean the whole day. I mean If you have an hour, it's a half hour split, you know. What are your thoughts on NFT art? It's just another market. It's as good as any market, you know. It's the same opinion I have for client work, you know. It's a market, and it's good for some people and not good for others, and it's conditioned by all sorts of things. I don't like the way some people talked about it. Like, I think people have already kind of got it. Like, a lot of the manic stuff that was going on early on has really cooled down. But at the beginning, people were really like, this is the future of art. This changes everything for artists. It's like, nope. As long as money is involved, it's just another market. And it'll never be long before it just falls into the same traps that Instagram or anything else has, where everybody realizes, like, okay, this kind of thing sells, this kind of thing doesn't. Oh, if you really want to make the money with it, you got to do this, 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 and this. It's like anything that's going to become that is just the same devil, baby. It's the same devil, baby. And by devil, I mean perfectly valid marketplace. But yeah, I really don't find it to be super revolutionary or anything like that. The technology is definitely revolutionary, but I just don't see how it's actually revolutionary for the way artists experience their practice. It just seems like another way to get caught up in the numbers game and to pander to a market. What did you have for breakfast? Egg on an English muffin. Where are you from, Steven? I am in New York, in the USA. Born and raised. How long have you been drawing for? My whole life. Glad to see you streaming often these days. Is it going to be something usual or just this week? I don't know. I try not to make any promises. The only reason I have an online presence is because I let myself do whatever I want. So when I don't want to do it anymore, I want to feel totally free to stop. I do enjoy streaming though. I just usually can't because of time, the kind of work that I'm doing. Obviously you can't do client work on stream. I guess you could do client work while only talking, but I don't know who wants that. Hear me grumbling and saying, no, not that. No, that's not gonna work. No. Oh God, they're gonna hate that. Just that over and over again. Do you like carpentry? I haven't done much of it. I only did it back in school when I needed to. I appreciate all design in general. So if you're talking about like the interesting creation and construction of furniture and things like that, I'm definitely into that. Definitely Googled interesting chair many times. Any recommendations for books on mental health and understanding thoughts and emotions? I come to it more from the Buddhist side of things. So unless you are willing to sift through that particular new agey mire, no. I don't have anything by the way of recommendations for like self-help books or pop psychology or anything like that. I don't read that stuff. I think my dog knows when I'm streaming, and she knows that I don't get up, so she like lays and sits on the stuff she's not supposed to lay on, because she's like, he's not gonna get up and tell me to get off right now. This is my chance. Necroval says, you said these were water-based markers, right? Any brands you like, recommend, or is it just going cheap acceptable? I think the only water-based ones I've used are the Tombos. That's what these are that I'm using. They're good. They work fine. I don't really have anything to compare them to except like Crayola markers. Just adding a little markery vignette to some of these. See if that helps me. Steven, do you feel like artists nowadays are underappreciated? For example, you get 100 viewers streaming art, while some kid playing Minecraft for entertainment gets tens of thousands of views. I mean, the difference in market stuff like numbers, I would not use as the quantifier for artists being undervalued or anything like that. I do think artists are undervalued these days, but I do not measure that or think that because other things get more views or more attention. You know, that's just culture. That's just determined by what works in the culture at the moment. And it's not like people aren't getting utility and service out of kids playing Minecraft, right? That's just as valid as anything else. I think artists are undervalued because artists undervalue themselves, and that's the real problem. That's what I don't like. Artists are very self-deprecating, self-loathing, exhausted by themselves, confused, bitter, jaded. Desperate. By turns, desperate and preening. And it all adds up to, yeah, artists undervaluing themselves, and then because they undervalue themselves, culture just takes the cue and undervalues them right back. It's got nothing to do with kids playing Minecraft or anything like that. Do you play video games? Don't know if this will make sense, but your designs are very bookish, which is awesome. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by bookish. You mean that they're studious types? It looks like I draw demons that look like they want to hang out in libraries or something like that. I do play video games. I don't play them with I do play them with some regularity, but I'll go months or weeks at a time where I don't play them. I don't like play them just like I know I'm always going to be playing a game. No matter what's out, I play games when one that really caught my attention comes out. I seem to remember at some point you did some mechanical animals and plants that were inspired by Mega Man X, or am I wrong? I did, yeah. I did a redesign project of all of the Mavericks from Mega Man X years ago. You can find them if you search Steven Zapata and then Mega Man X. If you search Steven Zapata, Mega Man X, and then Kotaku, you can find a Kotaku article that has all of them pulled together. Eugene Dream with the $10. Just incredible. Thank you so much, Eugene Dream. Thank you so much. You honor me. And you honor the stream. Who knows where we'll go together with these $10? Who knows what's gonna happen now? Maybe these $10 will buy us the winning lotto ticket that will let us draw in peace and relaxation forever. From these $10, we will gain millions of dollars worth of value. Steven, do you believe in the butterfly effect? Not on the scale of butterflies, but everything is definitely influencing everything else. I mean, I personally believe that you are being begat by the nature of the entire cosmos every second of your life, you know? But I think that that's deeper and more subtle than traditional notions that, you know, someone's bad thought waves or something like that, or screwing up your day or anything like that. Or the beat of a butterfly's wings. So maybe my answer is kinda? The drawing became a portrait of a demonic convention about which ice cream flavors should be enjoyed on Thursdays. I mean, you jest, but that was basically exactly the tone I was going for, so perfect. are supposed to be aristocratic, haughty-looking demons that inhabit Pandemonium, so your description seems very apt. Steve, I suffer from a bad vibe. I feel like I've accomplished nothing because I have no fortune and fame. After fame comes oblivion, as Marcus Aurelius said. Why would you want to be famous? Why would you want to externalize your feelings of self-worth to a huge mob of people who don't even know who you are, who don't understand you? Why would you want to let the capricious turnings of fate decide how you feel? Why not gift yourself peace and freedom and self-respect instead of waiting for life to hand it to you? It sounds to me like you have entrusted your own happiness unto the souls of others. There is no way that can end but in despair. What is your preferred way of generating ideas for designs? Yeah, gathering reference, reading, going on Wikipedia deep dives, stuff like that. And if I have the luxury of time, doing a lot of sketching like the kind you're seeing here. But if you don't have the luxury of time, nothing is more efficient than research. I'm gonna try to balance the page with a little abstract shape chaos. I mean, why are we here if not to take risks? Yeah, sure. Steven, do you think talent doesn't exist? It's just hundreds of hours of dedication to your craft to master it? I think talent does exist, but that doesn't mean that I think it matters. Like, I can't deny, with the sheer number of artists that I've known and artists I've been friends with and artists that I've taught, it would be very disingenuous for me to claim that talent doesn't exist with all of the experiences that I've had. From my experiences, yes, it absolutely does. It just comes easier to some people, and there's no getting around it from what I can tell. But like I said, it really doesn't matter. It's like the fact that it exists changes literally nothing about your decision making, or at least it shouldn't change anything about your decision making. The existence of talent doesn't really intersect with the path or thinking about it in a balanced way anywhere, you know? It may be a brute fact of things that some people have something that people might call talent, but it just doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. How do you go about collecting references? Just depends on the task. Research, deep dives, a lot of Google foo, checking books out of the library, anything. Depends on the job. You go wherever the task takes you, or you make things, you know? Sculpt your own references or something like that. Just looking if I want to do anything else to this page or if I just want to sketch something else for a little bit. I think I'll probably leave this one like this. It's not a very big page, so it's getting kind of crowded. Morning, Alex. Opinion on tracing your own work when working from sketches to a finished piece? An opinion on that? How could that be wrong? Who cares? I get the feeling you're asking that because you think there's something wrong with that. That's crazy. I can't even imagine what you could hypothetically assume would be wrong there to even ask the question. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Hey Anosh, what's up, man? How you doing? Janosch has a good channel for anyone interested in getting into concept design or illustration. If anyone's interested in that, you should go check out his channel. Is there a reason why you start on the right side of the sketchbook? I don't think so. Being right-handed, I think it's just slightly more comfortable for me to draw on the right side of a spread than on the left side. Hey Steven, thanks for your daily streams. Do you hover your hand over the paper or do you rest it on a pinky? I get this. People seem very worried that I'm smudging my drawings. I just put my hand right on it a lot of the time. The kinds of drawings I do with like graphite pencil and stuff like that, it really doesn't matter if they get a little smudged. You don't really notice. I put too much contrast and strong value work and structure into the drawing for it to matter if it gets smudged. If smudges are ruining your graphite drawings, you probably need to draw a lot darker. You need to put more contrast. A smudge has no chance of standing out in one of my drawings. A smudge is just too low contrast and structureless for the eye to have even a moment to think about it. If I'm doing a really involved, elaborate drawing, I'll just put one of these under my hand. But when I'm just sketching, I just let my hand sit right on it. Okay, that one I like. This one might have to be one that we go take back to digital and finish. I like that he's so grotesque and making a really angry face, but he has a frilly, a frilly foppish shirt collar. That pleases me a lot. It pleases us greatly. Joseph Mazziliano. Joseph! Joey boy! Welcome to the stream, Joey! You working hard? Being very productive at work? Getting a lot done? That's your job? Joseph Mazziliano, Lord of Darkness, works for the devil. Satan's little slave. Hi, puppy. Hi. Yeah, you always come here when I sing, right? Yeah, you love my singing. You love my singing. Sniffing the microphone, wow. Ah, yeah, little girl. Oh, you good little girl. Oh, you good little pup. What do you think about Evan Amundsen? Like most people, I think he's an incredible draftsman. I don't know anything else about him. Never met him, never talked to him. Hey Steven, how detailed is the picture inside your head before you draw? I, most of the time, am not referencing the second monitor that is my mental imagery while I'm drawing. I'm mostly just reacting to what I put down on the page. But I think that there's probably bleed anyway in my subconscious, no matter what I'm doing, because whenever I want, I can summon as vivid a image of this in my mind's eye as I want. You know, I can see it like it's a fully textured, lit, real thing. You know, I can imagine it in a flash in my mind's eye. I just rarely do, if I'm honest. But the fact that that's sitting there waiting to be accessed whenever I want it, I think that must be like a side process that's running, whether I'm actively imagining it or not. But my conscious mind, the part of me that I identify with, is usually just making lines and then reacting. Must contrast be always there, or can it be flat? Is it a must? I mean, technically, yes. Contrast is the only reason you can discern one thing over another. Contrast is the lord and creator of all subjective experience. Any moment of perception that did not involve contrast would just bleed into something else that does have contrast. But if you're asking, can drawings be low contrast? Of course they can, yes. It's just generally harder to pull off. But there's plenty of gorgeous low contrast pictures. Whistler, a lot of Whistler's more expressionistic paintings and drawings come to mind. That's James McNeill Whistler. He's the guy who did that famous painting of the old lady in the rocking chair. He has a lot of very cool blurry nocturnes and low contrast paintings that are quite beautiful, even though there's barely anything there. Do you like listen to ambient music to get in the mood for drawing? Depends on what I'm doing. If I want the drawing to get like really all of me, which is not always, I try not to listen to anything. If I'm working on a job and I'm bored and tired, I'll listen to metal. Listen to a lot of pop music too, just to keep me awake. And when I'm sitting around working with my wife, we spend a lot of time working in the same room, so we listen to our work night playlist rather than anything that would be ambiently appropriate for the mood of the drawing. Right now, I'm not listening to the music that's playing on the stream, for example. I am just listening to the frustrating ambient noises of my neighborhood. Have you ever had a phase of drawing something? Yeah, many thousands. It's been a long road. I've had lots of phases where I only drew all sorts of stuff. Only draw figures, only draw environments, only draw portraits, only draw women, only draw men, only draw animals. Only draw hardware, only draw prop ideas. I've had all sorts of phases. I had a period where I went to the zoo once a week, every week, for like 5 months. And I would draw all the animals at the zoo. I remember that being very relaxing. That was back when I was in school. I did it as a mental health thing. I wasn't doing anything for my mental health. I was overworked. I was burnt out. I felt trapped. I was getting really depressed and really anxious. So I got some help addressing the problem. I had someone from the school give me a little advice on schedule making and time management, and I followed his program. And one of the pretty extreme and gutsy things that I did on that, which I'm very glad that I did, was for my heaviest semester with the hardest class in the program, I committed myself to taking a whole day off every week. Was it a whole day? It was at least a whole half a day off every week where I refused to work. And that's when I would go to the zoo. I was still drawing, but I wasn't getting any work done, And some days, if I remember correctly, there were some days where I went to the zoo and I just stared at the animals and meditated and thought about the beauty of the natural world. And I didn't draw. But, I learned a lot from doing that, and it was a very valuable experience to prove to myself, even if you take care of your mental health and take a whole day off in the middle of what would otherwise be interpreted as an existential emergency, you'll be fine. You're not gonna die. No angry god of capitalism is going to punish you for not being productive every second of the day. Uncle Sam is not going to come down to you in your bed at night and explain to you that you're not doing it the American way and that Reddit/r motivation is not going to make fun of you. One of the most valuable experiences of my life, that sitting still. Was it hard getting your orderly to take you to the zoo? They never let me out of here. It was hard. Ugh. Ralph Grassetti says it's better to sketch or draw fast, like to study the subject before making a good detailed drawing. Do you share this vision? Depends on the task. Depends on the task. Do you find time to do studies and explore new subjects nowadays? All the time. All the time. Details like these frilly collars, do you draw each fold consciously or do you have the muscle memory to just wing it? I try to just wing everything. I trust my subconscious much more than I trust my conscious mind. I try to only have my conscious mind intervene when something goes horribly wrong. My conscious mind is more of a diagnostic tool than a starting place. Every first drawing of the day tends to be naturally sloppy. Do you have any techniques to warm yourself up quicker, or do you just let yourself go? Yeah, for warming up, I just try to do the thing I plan on doing for the rest of the day anyway. So if I'm gonna draw cats, I'll warm up by drawing cats. If I need to work on, if I have to do a drawing of a car for some reason, I will draw cars to warm up. Yeah, I just warm up. If my warm up has a specific goal, if there's something I need to do that day, I just try to warm up by doing that thing. I've done all sorts of other warm ups though. You know, back when I was in school, I used to do the classic, just mechanical warm-ups. I would do straight lines, ellipses, circles, things like that. One second. Where's my eraser? Where is my eraser? Where did I put it? There it is. Yeah, that car sure is cool. Wow, he's got a very fast car. Loud means fast. All of the hundreds of people who live in these apartment complexes that I'm zipping past need to know how fast and loud my car is. I'm getting old, man. It really, that stuff legit annoys me now. It disturbs my equanimity. Just grabbed a couple other markers to model this guy's skin a little bit. Do 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 do. Gotta model it up. Putting all of the little dots, yeah. Making it yellow, then making it peach. That's what it takes to draw a freak. Oh, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Oh, we're hitting it good with the marbles, oh yeah. Taking it down to the streets. And taking it down to hell where Satan lives. Yes, Lord of Darkness, Son of Perdition, Morning Star, Little Goat. Oh, the Lord, the Devil, yeah. I'll let that dry for a second. You can kind of soften these by running one marker over the other a little bit. Oh, that's going to tear this paper actually, so not going to do that trick. Need a better paper for that. Moleskine paper started pilling immediately as soon as I did that. Stretch my hand for a second. Do you ever draw on psychedelics? No, I can't really draw on anything. I just tend to get very, very distracted if I am modified while drawing. Doesn't Ahmed come over and force you to buy cottonwoods? I've drawn on cottonwoods for a while. They're just too expensive to ship for me personally. They are better than the moleskines that I'm using these days. They're very good sketchbooks. It was cheap to get them when I lived in LA because I guess the distribution plant or they're made around there, so. My favorite art store ever, Swain's. Ah, Swain's in Glendale. Those were my salad days. What the heck is that? Deirdre, everything all right out there?
What?
What the heck was that? Oh. Okay, it's way too loud out there. I like having the window open, but I gotta close it. Is there any criteria while modulating lines? I tend to wiggle things a lot. The only criteria is like basic design criteria, like finding some sort of balance between complexity and simplicity and open areas and detailed areas and straight verse curve, different kinds of form overlaps and things like that. So I guess there are tons of criteria actually, yes. If you want to learn more about that, see you in a year when I put out my Principles of Design course. That's a very deep subject. But that's all diagnostic stuff, like I said. When I'm just sketching, I don't think about any of that stuff. I just let my hand do what it's gonna do. My hand knows more than I do. I cannot remember every drawing that I've ever done. I cannot remember everything that I have ever learned. I cannot remember everything that I've ever practiced. But my hand can. So I'm going to try to very quickly pass a green shadow over this. And, you know, this might ruin it, but we're here to take risks. So I'm going to see if I get some of the variation of the yellow and orange to show up under the green. But if I do it too slow, I will pill the paper. So I'm struggling against the quality of my paper here, but I still want to try it. Not so bad. At what point do you think there are diminishing returns for time spent drawing per day? It definitely depends entirely on the individual, but in my experience, for most people, it starts somewhere between, you'll start getting diminishing returns around 3 hours, I would say. For most people, once you build up some endurance and stuff like that, 3 to 4 hours will begin exhaustion and diminishing returns. But it varies from person to person. It's like, mind you, you still get returns. You're still working on the drawing. You know, if you're working on a focused project and you're still doing the things on the to-do list for it, you're still definitely getting returns when you go over, but yeah, it's specifically diminishing. All right, I like that one. I like that one. He feels somewhat aristocratic. He's got the funny costume coupled with the ridiculous face. I like that one. That tells me something about how I want to do this, I think. I think I'll remember that one. You know, that's why we do a lot of these. You know, maybe you do all of these just to arrive at something like that. Steven, what kind of paper would you recommend to do ink drawings plus ink washes without ruining the paper? Some kind of very heavy bristle paper, probably a vellum surface, or a watercolor paper. Watercolor paper is really good for anything that you're going to use, like a wash or anything like that. It's designed to get wet. You just got to stretch it first. That's why most people don't use it. It adds an extra step. You can also use it without stretching it, but most people find that annoying. Favorite watercolor paper? I don't have a favorite. I haven't used them enough. I think most of the ones I've used are like, I have a few nice sheets of Winsor Newton watercolor paper that works good. And I've used the, God, what are they? Like the Fabriano Artistico watercolor blocks. Generally, I get the smooth surface. Which one is that? The hot press, I think. Hot press is smoother, cold press is rougher. Do you approach color by making shadows in black bursts and then adding color? No. Well, it depends on the medium. Depends what I'm drawing in. Generally, if I know something is going to be colored at the end, I try to do the shadows with color so I can see the contrast range and everything like that. I'm not interested in this first sketch now. The previous one was a better version of that. Let's see, so these guys were pretty human. A lot of them. Not that guy. I could do a more fishy one. He's like more human than he is fish. Maybe I'll do another one where more fish than human. Take a look. I know I need at least one fishy demon because I need a Dagon. Dagon is named in Paradise Lost, so... Oh yeah, Necroval. That was a bad call. No, if you want to read Paradise Lost, it's definitely... You want to read it in a language that you understand. I wonder what it's like in a translation, because it feels so intimately linked with the nature of English, I suppose. But I bet there's some transcendent and thoughtful translation for all the major languages. Thanks, Evolved Being. Have you read Color and Light from James Gurney? I have. I've read it, yeah. It's a great book. It's almost more like a reference book or like an intro. I think it's a good introduction for most people to what they should be thinking about when it comes to the interaction between the science of light and color choices. Because it's not like it really teaches you how to use color. Well, I guess the parts about like the color gamut and stuff like that could be considered that. I guess it just didn't land with me because I don't paint that way. But I think it'd be useful for anybody as a introduction to sort of setting a benchmark and teaching them about, like, yeah, but you didn't know that these real scientific effects actually have these effects on color, you know? I think that's a very useful thing for anyone interested in color to learn. But it is, of course, not the only way. You can use totally abstract color that has nothing to do with science. Or that is to say, the reality of visual phenomenon, the way color is determined in the real world. You're gonna read it thrice? That's intense. I love the iPad. I do all of my drawing for work on the iPad. Do you have a digital pen? Yeah, I have the Apple Pencil for the iPad. What is your least favorite subject to draw, and have you tried to challenge yourself to draw it the best way you can? Yeah, I hate drawing Barbie pony princess style pictures of happy Barbie dolls taking care of their ponies in their pony stable. That's always been my least favorite subject. And yeah, I have challenged myself to draw it as best as I can many times, because obviously the only way to improve as an artist is to do the things that you're bad at and that you're scared of, you know. Whenever you, if you find yourself thinking like, all right, can I do a really good picture of like Barbie and her best friends taking care of their favorite ponies in their pony stable right next to the magic castle, and you think that and you're like, oh no, I could never do it, I'll do a bad job. It's like, that just means that that's exactly the thing you're supposed to be practicing, and the only way you'll ever get better is if you practice that thing, obviously. So obviously, because I'm a very serious, gritty artist, yeah, practiced it tons. Probably done like 600, 700 finished drawings trying to do it well. They've all flopped, and that's why I'm not very good. That's why I'm not good enough yet. Yeah, just draw what you like or what you have to, people. It's like, I don't know why you would want to get hired or known for drawing stuff that you're bad at or that you don't like doing. I just don't get it. Man, time flies when you're having fun. I'm probably gonna get off in like 5 minutes. I've been drawing for how long? About 2 hours and 40 minutes now. So if I could be helpful to you in that limited amount of time, let me know. Any last questions or anything like that? So what did we do today? We added a few more heads here, colored this page. This page is probably done. It's good for what it is. And I love drawing, so I wanted to keep going. So I started doing this stuff, and I'm glad I did, because I feel like that head is one of the touchstone heads for this possible design direction for the Pandemonium Demons, you know? This would be like very monstrous, very angry, very sinister, but with frilly, pompous over-importance in the European style for the costuming, which I quite like that. Some of that was happening here, but it went more refined here. So this one is like, these are like the more refined version of that. Like they still retain a lot of dignity, humanity, and niceness, but they have some monstrous effects. But then this one just like went totally pretty far into monstrous and increased the contrast between those two elements. So one direction, another direction. Would you buy me your sketchbook? You mean, would I sell you my sketchbook? Sure. How does 10K sound? Just hit me up whenever you're ready to pay. Will you be here this early again tomorrow? No promises. I just stream whenever I find myself drawing something I can stream. I like to be flexible and let my schedule change every day. Some days I start with drawing, some days I start with writing, some days I start with making a video. And some days can't do any of that stuff. I just need to spend all day doing emails or training students. So I like to be flexible. Ooh, I'm getting hungry. It's almost lunchtime. You won't leave before finishing this fish man, will you? I might. I'll finish the lines. I'm almost there. But I probably won't color him. Thank you, Steven, for the stream. Would love if you get to do another one in the upcoming days. The stream helps me get my ass off and feel good about drawing. That's why I'm here. That's why we're all here. We're all mutual drawing companions. Everybody's incredibly potent drawing waves affecting everybody else's incredibly potent drawing waves. Hello, my puppy. Yes, I know. I know you have a very precise internal clock and that you know it's time for your lunchtime snack. I know too. I know too. You will have your snack very soon, my little dog. Hurry, Steven, before hunger consumes you. Waffles or pancakes? For volume, pancakes. For a single bite, waffles. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for being everybody's mutual drawing companion. If you enjoy these streams, if you like the videos, consider supporting me on Patreon or picking up a tutorial video. Your support makes it much more likely that I get to keep doing things like this with great regularity, instead of going into client holes for months at a time. If you join the Patreon, you get early access to videos, you get scans of my drawings, you get to join the Discord community where people chat and share artwork and crit each other. And it don't matter if you want to join for just a month, just to support the streams and the videos, and then you sign off. I don't mind at all. You get permanent access to the Discord. You're not just on there only when you are supporting the Patreon. You pay 1 month, you're in. Alright. We can leave that one be for now, I think. If I color him now, I'm sure I'll just rush it. We sure have been getting a lot of demon ideas out on these streams. Am I right, people? No joke. A lot of fixating on demons, I'll tell you what. Fish always strike me as blue, but he could theoretically be an orange fish, you know, like a rockfish or something like that. Love me a good rockfish. Yeah, for some reason the fish guy looks like some magician. Yeah, I would agree. That's funny. That is funny. Sorry, Andre, can't tell you what to draw with me now because I'm about to piece. Time for lunch. Got my drawing in. Happily streamed, happily drew. If you need a suggestion for what to draw, why not draw a demon? If you don't like drawing demons, why don't you do a self-portrait? Or maybe a portrait of your pet. Or someone that you really love. Or why don't you open a dictionary to a random page and scroll your finger halfway down the page without looking, and then stop your finger, and then draw whatever the word is that you find in the dictionary. I like doing these traditional streams. Love drawing traditional. Alright, everybody. I'm gonna head out. Thank you for being here. Again, I appreciate you all. Thank you for drawing today. If you're gonna keep drawing today, I wish you the best with all of your drawing. I hope it goes better and better and better and better. And I wish you nothing but the easiest, most satisfying, most aligned drawings possible. All right, everybody. Peace out. See you soon. Bye, Andre. Bye, Joaco. Bye, Ethan. Bye, MF. Bye, Necroval. Bye, Joseph Marziliano. Joasuano Marziglidiano. Arthur, Alex. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye, Shandi. Bye. Goodbye, Obed. Goodbye, Gabby. Goodbye, Arctic Monkey. Goodbye, Cobalt Turtles. Goodbye, Neon Soul. Goodbye, Felipe. Goodbye, Alexander. And goodbye to all the ghosts and spirits that haunt us every day.